shop. On today's episode, we are going to work on the feather billet that we forged out a while back. I'm going to cut a sliver off of this, and we're going to get that in the forge and forge us a blade out of it and go from there. All right, thanks for joining me, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's go get started. Here's our feather billet. I'm going to cut a sliver off of this, and we're going to go ahead and forge a knife out of this. So here is the sliver of feather. Get it in the forge and start forging. So it's very important that I keep track of which end is the end of the feather. And it would be this end. That's the end I want to have the point on. I just want to forge this down just a little bit. I don't want to work it too cool. I'm drawing on the anvil kind of the shape that I'm going for. It's going to be kind of a long, thin blade with a pretty sharp point on it. So that's what we're going for. We'll see how it goes. So as always, as you get more sophisticated patterns, you don't want to forge them out a lot because you will stretch that pattern out that you spent a ton of time putting in there. So you want to forge it close, and we're going to grind it to the actual profile that I want. So I'm trying to get the length that I want right now, and then I can grind it down to where I want the actual profile. So next what I'm going to do is forge in the choil. So we've kind of got our billet like this right now. And that feather pattern is coming down like this. That's terrible drawing. So anyway, so that middle line of the feather runs right down like that. We could grind in the choil and just get rid of that right there. But then that feather pattern would still run right down the middle. What you want to do is you forge that in, so then your feather pattern actually moves up with the forging, so you can tell that it's forged. So that's what I'm going to do next. Right there. So that makes that pattern run here and then bump up where I forged it. So that's pretty close to the shape that we want. I know it's not forging clear to shape, but we are plenty thick. I'm going to grind, I will surface grind that down thinner, but we can get that shape that we want out of this um, billet, whatever you want to call it, this piece of feather. I'm going to get it good and straight, and then we'll let her cool down and go to the grinder. So I have this all cleaned up. I took it to the surface grinder, cleaned up both sides to 120 grit, I believe. And I just etched the tip of it because when you do a feather pattern, you want that where those two wings of the feather come together. You want that to be the very tip of your knife. So I wanted to etch the end so I could see where that was, and it's kind of hard to see on the camera, but it's right there. I'll get that marked out, and I'll get the profile drawn on here that I want, and then we'll get to grinding on the profile. So after quite a little thinking about how I wanted to do this, the middle of the pattern comes out right here, which is kind of low. It works good for a drop point, so it's a little different than what we had planned, or what I'd planned for the shape, but I think it fits well with a little drop point. So that's what we're going to go with. Let's go grind a profile. So here it is after profiling. I think that's going to be a nice little drop point. It's going to have a killer pattern on it. So what we need to do now is scribe center line, and then we'll get to grinding some bevels. Probably don't need it on the top so much because there won't be any false edge or anything on this one, but I just like to do it while I'm at it. All right, here we are ready to do the bevels. I am going to, so I just took the very edge of this off with an old belt before I start, because it will a lot of times rip a bunch of grit off of there when you first start. But anyway, I'm going to do a full flat on this. It's going to be not completely to the top before heat treat, but I just wanted to do one in real time, real fast, just to show how fast you can grind a bevel. There is one bevel to 36 grit. I will take a new 120 grit belt and clean up all those deep scratches. But yeah, that's all the longer it takes. Pretty centered, pretty close to the line right now. We want to leave, I think the rule of thumb is kind of a dime's thickness on the edge before heat treat. So I will get the other side ground to 36 and then clean them up. But yeah, that doesn't take very long when you have a good belt. So right here, it is cleaned up to 120 grit. You can see my scribe line runs right down the center of the edge. I've got it a little thicker than a dime's thickness, which is fine. It's just maybe keep it from warping in heat treat. Okay, here we go. In for the first thermal cycle. Kiln is up to temperature. We'll get that in there. We'll let it soak for a while. Make sure it comes completely up to temperature before we bring it out. And we'll bring it out and put my maker's mark on when it is ready. There you can see the maker's mark. Didn't get it real straight. Second thermal cycle going in. Where are my tongs? I swear. This is the thing. I guess we'll do it. Last grain reduction cycle. Okay, so we're ready to put the feather knife in to bring it up to temperature to quench. So there it is. It's in there. We'll let it set for roughly 5 minutes. Once it comes up to temperature, then we will quench. I always set my tongs down somewhere where I can't find them. Oh my goodness, where are they? Where are you, tongs? I find you. Okay, we're ready to quench. Take it over to the milling vise. Put it in there, just keep it straight. Let it cool down just a little bit. We'll be good to go. So here is the feather knife. A little drop point. It's all hardened. It skates a 60 Rockwell file. There you can see it right there, 60 HRC. So it skates 60. So it should be good. We'll get that in the temper oven 2 times, 2 hours for 2 times. Let's start that over. We will get that in the temper oven for 2 2-hour cycles at about 430 degrees, 425, 430. And then we'll get on to the finish grinding. Okay, that's going to be it for today for the feather pattern little drop point hunter. We'll get it tempered out for the next 4 hours basically, and then it will be ready for finish grinding and hand sanding. Thanks for sticking along with me, and don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.